guess just to start, they obviously were able to get into you guys offensively, get a lot of hits on the board. Just what was the issue with the pitching today? You think?
Well, disappointing. Disappointing that I thought I was very proud of our guys Friday night, and but if there's one guy that's wore the orange this weekend, felt that Ole Miss just wasn't going to show up the next 2 days, a very prideful team and program, they're wrong. And I think Coach Bianco would probably echo this. I don't know if they played extremely great all weekend long, but they played good enough to win 2 out of 3. I thought our personality changed a little bit, and we've got to change that. I saw a different personality this weekend than I had seen the previous 4 weekends. I didn't think we were as much as in an attack mode, especially from the offensive standpoint. I thought we did the last 3 innings when the score was 8-2, and we got down by some. I thought our swings loosened up a little bit. It all starts on the mound, though. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going to have to be fixed on the mound. Right now, I know Zach Warren's our Friday starter. Besides that, there's a lot of flipping of coins for me right now, and our personality on the mound. It starts with the personality, and we've got to be more committed to strikes, and we've got to have better trust within ourselves that we can throw our stuff over the plate. I think that was the difference in the series, is that Ole Miss didn't really give us many free passes. We hit some balls, but they weren't giving us the free passes where we gave free passes, and too many, especially for a team that wants to swing the bat. That team wants to swing the bat. It's hard to go deep in counts with them because they want to swing the bat. And I think we went over 23-2 counts this weekend, and that just doesn't produce good baseball.
Hunter, obviously, it's the second straight start. He doesn't make it out of the first. What's the issue for him right now? What kind of problems do you see?
This game is so mental, and I don't know if that's it with him. I go back to yesterday with Andy Cox too. I mean, both those guys have really good stuff and have had a lot of success here. But right now, they're not trusting anything they're doing over the plate. And, Andy, it showed that Andy pitched well, but Andy didn't pitch that great yesterday. And Hunter, obviously, his stuff wasn't very good again. He gets 2 quick outs. I didn't think from the first pitch of the game. I saw Tuesday down in Nashville, and he had really good stuff. Mm-hmm. And tonight, his first pitch of the game right away, that wasn't what I saw Tuesday night. His fastball just didn't have any zip behind it, and there was no plane to his fastball, and he got some balls up, and they hammered it, and in a game which is a big game, the 3rd game of a deciding series, I wasn't going to mess around, and we were already trailing 2, and I needed to get that stopped.
Is that kind of a little bit what you saw from Steven as well? Obviously, he was able to make it further, but a couple occasions he elevated a couple, and that's how.
Well, when I look at, I'll go back and evaluate this weekend tonight and tomorrow. But when I look at the best performances by the younger guys, or the new guys, I should say. Right. Lipinski, I thought, threw well. Will Neely had a good outing today. I thought Daniel didn't pitch horrible, but he didn't pitch great. But he's a true freshman, and it's the older guys. It's the older guys that got to get out of their way. They need to get out of their own way and help this team like guys with experience should help their team.
Is it wide open, I guess, for next week? I mean, when you're saying it's flip a coin, I mean, do you go into this week saying Zach's going Friday and Saturday and Sunday are open?
I'd say right now, yeah. There's a lot of evaluating I have to do with the pitching staff, some decisions I'm going to make because, I think you look at Will Neely's outing. That's 2 outings in a row that I thought he's thrown pretty good. He threw well the other night in Nashville. So he's getting ready to push somebody out of a spot, and that's the way we're going to have to do it right now until we can solidify 3 guys that are going to give us some outings. It's going to be whoever's, what have you done for me lately, and who's showing some consistency.
What other guys do you see as potential options for the weekend?
Well, I mean, obviously Will's a guy that when we recruited him, we saw as a guy that could possibly be that type of guy, and it's putting a lot on him as a freshman. But he has that kind of stuff. We're not hurting for stuff as a pitching staff. Well, our stuff mirrors what other teams in the SEC have. It's about command, and really it's going to be the guys that can show that they time in and time out can command the strike zone. I mean, I like clean baseball, and if you look at our games, there's not many games that we're playing under 3 hours. Well, that starts with our pitching staff right there. I know we've scored some runs, but we're just throwing too many pitches, and nobody's good enough to throw that many pitches and be successful. I believe momentum has started on defense, and we're not giving I credit the offense every game because I think we're getting some offense from our guys when we're not creating our momentum on defense, and we've got to get that turned around or we're going to be playing uphill baseball all year long.
Multiple times your team grounded into double plays with multiple runners on base to end innings. How big was that in the game that ended up being pretty close?
Well, it's big. It's big. And from the flip of the coin, that's what we've done to our opponents. We've turned a lot of double plays this year, so I know exactly how big of a momentum change that is. The one double play that should never happen is the play that Leno made in the seventh inning, I think it was. This is Division I baseball. This is SEC baseball. You need to know the outs. That's just not playing smart baseball. And those are the kind of things that just frustrate me. If a guy gets on top of a ball and hits a hard ground ball to an infielder, they turn double play. That's part of baseball. That's going to happen sometimes.
You're obviously you're digging your way out of it at this point, but there were a couple hits you guys had that are in gaps that they managed to take away from you. Basically, how just big were some of the plays they made defensively?
Big. I mean, defense wins championships, and I felt over the course of the 3 games they pitched as a whole, they played defense as a whole better than us, and when you walk away with the series, them 2-1 against us, that was probably the difference maker right there. I thought late in the game, I thought we really started to loosen up with our swings a little bit, and you saw. Like I said to the guys, you saw Vol baseball. That's what we did. We spraying the ball to all fields, into gaps, over fences. But we can't wait until we get behind by a deficit to start letting that happen. There was situations throughout this weekend where we would have liked to see that with bases loaded. Mm-hmm. Those kind of at-bats during bases loaded. You can't make the moment too big. You just got to give a good at-bat.
What'd you learn about your team this weekend that maybe you hadn't seen before?
That we're not quitters. I can tell you that. I don't care what the score is. We're not going to quit, and I can live with that. But now it's about getting the details right to allow ourselves to not have to scrap and claw to get back in the games.
I know you got a game before Alabama, but what about Alabama and how big is that series down there?
Well, I think Tuesday's a big game. I think every game's a big game, to be honest with you. I think I go back to what I said earlier. I think our play of not being crisp started Tuesday night in Nashville. I think we didn't play crisp baseball Tuesday, and I think it kind of carried over. Our at-bats weren't great. Our pitching wasn't great. We won the game 7-3, but I didn't feel coming all the way that drive home that we really played a good game, and I was hoping it wouldn't catch up with us this weekend. So Alabama starts Tuesday night against Tennessee Tech. Someone's got to set the tone on the mound, and we've got to play good offense, and that'll carry over in the Alabama series. But every game is a big game in the SEC. It's a 30-game slate, and every game is a big game.
Obviously, the lineup changed this week with Jeff being out. Do you like the way he kind of flowed at the top with Chris there?
I did. I did. I said this. I just said this on the radio. Feel really bad for Jeff Moberg. Jeff Moberg not being in the lineup wasn't the cause of why we didn't win this series. There was other factors that we caused ourselves to why we didn't win this series.
Coach, Nick today gets that double in the 9th inning. What did you see from him today after a rough day yesterday?
I thought Nick had a good day. They ran a ball down in the first inning. He got into that ball pretty good. I had a little talk with him before the game about bad games are going to happen to everybody. Sometimes we put guys on pedestals, and we don't expect those things from those players. And he's a normal player. He's going to have some bad days. I thought the way he responded today was really good. He came off a rough day, and maybe his numbers don't exactly show. He had some walks in there and stung some balls. I thought it was a good day for Nick Senzel.
Great, thank you.
Good.